Hey everybody, Tommy Kane, Vile Maxim, welcome back. Listen, so as many of you seem to know, because the word has gotten out, Trump's parade was a huge failure. His birthday was a huge failure. He spent $45 million of taxpayers' money on this, and there was like 10,000 people that came to it. It was an absolute joke. I mean, literally, the worst NBA team has a bigger draw. So, as I'm sure you've seen from the headlines, there was a ton of wide open green field, people standing around, nothing, like nobody there. Trump was humiliated. He was not happy the entire time. He was miserable. And his family or people around him, Pete Hegseth and others, looked like they didn't even know what to say to him. They looked like they didn't even know how to console him when he was at this thing, because he expected it to be a big deal, and it did not turn out that way. So this was the 250th anniversary, as it states here, so you guys can see this. This was the 250th anniversary of the Army. Sorry, my voice is hoarse. I'm in a band, and I sang last night. My voice is just trashed at the moment. But anyways, so regardless of whether or not you're a fan of Donald Trump, it was the Army's 250th birthday, and it was supposed to be a celebration of America. But MAGA didn't show up. MAGA didn't show up. And we're going to get into why. We're going to get into why MAGA didn't show up. Meanwhile, the No Kings protests, I'll show you this clip here.
This is the observation deck on the top of Los Angeles City Hall. I think we're 26 or more stories up above the protests down there. And
look at all those people. Look at all those people. Do you see that? How many people? So No Kings had 12 million people. 12 million. One of the largest protests in American history. 12 million people in like over, I think it was reported 600 different towns and cities that had a protest. Really obscure towns, like out in the middle of nowhere of a state, had protests. People everywhere did this. Everywhere did this.
And the mayor of LA says there's something like 20,000 people in the streets of downtown Los Angeles right now, about as far as the eye can see.
So just downtown LA doubled the draw of Donald Trump's birthday party and parade. Just downtown LA. But as we see, Governor Gavin Newsom shared a clip that really shows the protests from all over the country, juxtaposing it across Trump's failed birthday party Army parade. Let's put the volume up. So you're probably asking yourself, well, where was MAGA? Where's all the support? Where's all Trump's supporters? Where are they all at? Why didn't anybody come to his big birthday party? Well, let's show you what they were doing. Here is Charlie Kirk, one of MAGA's biggest voices, okay? What is Charlie Kirk doing on the day of the birthday party? What is he doing on the day of the birthday party?
It's been dominating the last
He's
couple of days.
releasing a video. I found out why Democrats are defending violent riots. Which they're not defending violent riots. It's more propaganda and horseshit. But I'm a Democrat. I'm not defending violent riots. The vast majority of Democrats are not defending violent riots because there isn't any violent riots. Just because there's a few bad actors in a crowd that go and do a couple of stupid things in a small 1 block radius does not constitute the words violent riots. I mean, it's literally utterly insane. Los Angeles is a 500 square mile city, and the entire protest took place in a 1.5 block radius. And there was a couple of people who went off and committed some crimes. And yet, propaganda in the news and social media and idiots like this was spending their time trying to convince you that the liberals and the Democrats want violence and want riots. And I mean, it's unbelievable that they're actually convincing a portion of the country that they're actually gaslighting them into thinking that this is a reality. But this is what Charlie Kirk was doing. I'm not even going to warrant this with a view, because why? All it is him thrashing Democrats for the old time. What did Ben Shapiro do? He's another Republican voice, another MAGA person, another person who supported Trump. I know recently he was outspoken against him on a couple of things, but only the Ukraine war and the tariffs. But up until then, Shapiro is still Shapiro. And what does he do? This is what he does. He takes clips of people like this, okay, this woman here with her dyed hair and her nose ring. And this is what they want you to believe, that every Democrat and every liberal in America is this girl. They find these outliers, these really weird outlier, radical, feminist, like uber crazy college girls, right? And that's what they try to program your mind to think is 12 million people. 12 million people protesting. 12 million people protesting across the country. You think they're all this? You think that they're all this woman right here? This girl and how she is? This is what you think all 12 million people are? We have video footage of the 12 million people. I shot live footage at the Beverly Hills protest, at the Glendale protest. Sorry about the screwed up camera work on that one, by the way. But that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this is, who all 12 million people are. So what did Ben Shapiro do? Instead of supporting Trump, instead of supporting America, instead of going to the parade, instead of standing up for his country, what did he do? He sat at home and he made fun of liberals.
For a right for free speech, because you, all 2,000 of you National Guardsmen, you brave-ass soldiers, you think you're going to march in those streets and tell those people to shut the up? That is what you decided to fight for. You chose to defend us against all enemies.
See, this is what Ben Shapiro spent his time doing. He didn't go to the parade. He didn't go to represent Donald Trump. He didn't go to celebrate his birthday. He didn't go to do any of that. He chose to do this. Sit at home and make fun of liberals. What did Nick Shirley do? What did Nick Shirley do? Nick Shirley flies all over the country and reports on things, right? What did Nick Shirley do? Did he go to report on the fantastic parade? Did he go to report on this amazing birthday parade for Donald Trump and the army and the nation, because they care so much about America and the fundamentals of America and President Trump, and they care? No, he used his money to fly to a No Kings protest to make fun of liberals.
Looks like.
I can't hear you with the mask on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yep, take care.
Will do. We got. Okay, they've got a couple more speakers, and they're going to start the march down to the White House, everybody. You guys pulling up the chat right here and see what people got to say here.
See how he's like, I can't hear you with the mask on. It's like, this is all MAGA is. They're just guys that want to go around and be cruel to people. That was a woman he was talking to. You think he gives a shit? You think he has any respect for the woman? You think he cares at all? He doesn't care. He has no respect. He's just going to clown her because she has a mask on because, oh my God, what are you, scared of germs still? COVID's over, loser. This is what they do. This is all they do.
Let's see, we're going to have a whole entire Trump must go down.
Yes,
Refuse
he must go
fascism.
down. Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How will Trump go down, in your opinion?
Well,
Think he'll get impeached?
I'm hoping for impeachment, to be honest with you. He's either going to get impeached or all of us Americans are going to come together and we are going to be out in every street in America.
It's true.
And we are going to protest this fascist regime.
By the way, does this look like a college kid to you with green hair? Does this look like a green-haired college kid? In fact, do you even see like green-haired college kids? Look, we got this white guy here with the black hat. This is a tall dude with brown hair and a beard, and a red and black flannel. Do they look like college kids to you with green dyed hair?
Until they are gone. Like I said on stage, I took the oath 5 times, and I will die for that oath. And I don't believe in violence. I believe in peaceful protest. But you know what? When you come out to these protests, you don't know what's going to happen anymore. We got politicians being shot in Minnesota. You know, we got people that's being arrested for just protesting. That is why I am here in D.C. today. He is not going to take my right to protest. Period. That is a right given to every American citizen across this nation.
Would a fascist or king allow people to protest in the streets? Would a fascist or king allow people to protest in the streets?
Let's put it this way. If he had his way.
This is how stupid Nick Shirley is. He's trying to argue with him. Would a fascist or a king allow people to protest in the streets? No, he wouldn't. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. He is sending military into the city to surround protesters, okay, to create and antagonize, to set up situations where violence will escalate, and to basically thwart his authority. There's no reason. In fact, it's illegal for a president to federalize a state's National Guard for no reason, especially to send them to protests. So yeah, that is the behavior of a king. That is the behavior of a fascist. It's also the behavior of a king and the behavior of a fascist to circumvent checks and balances, push legislation through, or not push legislation through, but decide I'm the law and to just say I'm going to do what I want to do and I'm going to tell the states what they have to do. That's not how the Constitution works. That's not how America works. That's what Nick Shirley doesn't understand, but he doesn't care because he doesn't want to understand. He wants to own the libs. He wants to go places where he can own the libs, and that's what he wants to do. Simple. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I don't really know what else there is to say about that. I just know that that's what Nick does. And that's what all of these people do. They spend their time sorry, something is distracting me. So they spend their time owning the libs, not going to the parade, not celebrating Trump's birthday, not celebrating America, not celebrating our military or the army. They go and own the libs. So what else is being done here? Oh, look at this. Michael Knowles. What is he doing on the day of the protests? What is he doing? He's again, just like Ben Shapiro, he is projecting that all the 12 million protesters are this person here. This died, like they literally go out of their way to find these people. They go out of their way to find people like this to try to perpetuate this idea that that everybody looks like this that 12 million people that are uprising against Trump are just a bunch of like radical college multicolored haired feminist chicks. This is like what they do.
Single day. I hope every single time you put on a new pair of socks, you step in a puddle of water. I hope you always have an itch on the bottom of your foot. I hope your gas tank is always empty. I hope you hit every single red light when you're driving. I hope you're always stuck in traffic. I hope you win the lottery and die the next day. You're a piece of you.
I can't even be offended by this. I mean, ostensibly she's saying all these things to me because
Well, I sure hope you can't be offended by it, because if you were offended by it, wouldn't you be exactly what you claim to hate? Wouldn't you be the exact person that you claim to hate, that you're offended by something? Words, ooh, words that somebody said, words, ooh. This is what's so hypocritical about these people. MAGA are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. You're not loyal to Trump, okay? You're not loyal to Trump whatsoever. You're not loyal to America. You're not loyal to the American, to what it means to be America. You don't care about the military. You don't care about the army. All you care about, all MAGA cares about, is owning the libs. That's it. That's all they care about. That is their ideology. Full stop. Their ideology is to own the libs. And what it comes down to is that they will, like a terrorist organization, they will do almost anything that they can, spread propaganda, spread lies, destroy the fabric of our country, rip democracy in half just to own the libs. That's all they care about. Trump, being very, very sad at his parade that nobody showed up, must have had a rude awakening. And that rude awakening was that he thought it was about him. He thought it was about him. He thought that MAGA loved him. He thought that they loved him and that they were with him, that they were a movement. But they're not. And they don't. They don't love you, Trump. MAGA never did. Because it's not about you. And it's never been about you. It's about owning the libs. That's their ideology. That's all they care about. And that's all there is to it. Like and subscribe. I hope to see